NSJT, no secrets, just truth. Jazrael Emil Kavan. I come before you today to say this is the confession of a poet. I remember when I was young, when I was impressionable, when I could be molded into anything or everything. I remember the call of words, the call of love. I remember the dreams of beauty. Me standing out on a shoreline, waiting, watching the waves crash land at my feet. Off in the distance, a woman standing on the rock in a beautiful white flowing gown. I saw her. No matter what I tried, no matter what I did, I could not see her face. But I felt her heart. I felt her needs. I felt her wants. I felt her desires, her fantasies, and her passion. I felt the lust that she felt. I felt the warm embers of truth inside of her. I seen the light of the moon give her a glow that I've never seen before in my life. I decided that all that energy when I woke up into tears had to be written upon the page. Because I didn't want it to be forgotten love. I knew from the first dream that I had of her that I was in love with her. I was in love with the concept of love. I was in love with the spirit of love. It had not only became the first commandment that I would obey, but it would become the center pillar of my temple. It would become the truth of my justice, the truth of my actions, the greatness of my deeds. I remember the first few pages that I wrote, I struggled against myself to figure out how to contain the energy, the passion, the lust, the fantasy, and keep it on the page and keep it in a way that protected her. I wanted the page to call out to her. I wanted the page to allow people to feel the movement that was coming in my very soul. I didn't want to lose my ability to see her. I didn't want to lose the feeling of my heart as she transformed me from a boy into a man. She had taught me everything I needed to know about love without speaking. The nights I woke up in tears because the sorrows of her heart drowned out my hope for her. A lion was transformed into a lamb for her eyes. because I once was on the hunt to rip everything to shreds. I had nothing to hold on to. I was out of control. I was wild. I was untamed. I thought that by being the very beast of man, that I could control my life, that I had sheer power. Either you feared me or you are going to fear me. Those were the only two options that you had. Because when I turned my gaze to you, that means I was coming after you. I had very little friends. And I kept it that way because I wanted it that way. My life's work began when I was 14. I came up with the first symbol, LWL. Live with love. NWL. Now with love. I kept trying to figure out what sounded better. What was the truth? What was the cause? And I had to go back to the dream. And I formed the NSJT. No secrets, just truth. Because I had promised myself that if I ever met her in real life, that I would have no secrets, but just truth. That she would know everything about me, every part of me. Everything from the things I was ashamed of to the things that I was proud of. She would be the hope of a dream. She would be the power and the anchor of my life. I'm not afraid anymore of being tamed. I've grown into a mature man who realized that relationships are difficult. Some of the best relationships are based on lies. Partners afraid to tell their partner the truth because they're afraid of what will be said. They're afraid that everything they have built will crumble and fall apart, but it was built by a fantasy. It wasn't real love. It was the fear of being alone. It was the fear of being inadequate. It was the fear of walking life's path without knowing love. It was a social decision so that you can have a mate to show off and say that you have found love. But all you have found is a twisted perversion of what love is. Half the people who claim to be in love, their lovers wouldn't even trade their life for them. Their lovers wouldn't offer them the truth that they paid them to. Because they'd rather hold on to that lie. They'd rather hold on to that misperception. Because they want to go along to get along. They're all on the boat together rowing. They don't want to start rowing in a different direction and have everybody turn around and look at them. Some of them are in relationships that's like vampires. It's sucking them to death. People ask me why in my poetry I call those who destroy the integrity, the definition, the power, the authority of love and others, because they refuse to believe in true love. They refuse to be love. You have to be love before you can find true love. You have to expel the truth before you can even imagine what the truth will be when it returns back to you. I found love because I had a dream that kept me wanting more, a dream that kept me alive in the darkness of my days, a dream that gave me strength and power. Echoes. In the sky above this night, I float into the sea of my dreams. My fairy tales open my eyes to lands far and wide. Thunder collide with time for me to hear angels fly into moments unlived. Life comes to kiss us. Dreams and I float on cloud nine, looking down upon the world. The night sky cries stars, hoping to echo my voice, hoping to change fate. Written, a man wishes upon a star, then his prayers will be answered. So come into the beyond and wish. Echoes of my wishes. And feel the touch of what love has written upon me. The hands of destiny reaches beyond days of the old to be bold. Listen, you can hear destiny call out the names of love as if written in the sands of times. The names one by one creates a small fire burning with passion. The morning sun comes to play before me, and the thoughts of the afternoon chase children to the night's caress. The lovers of seasons, for in my heart I hear the birth of lands given to us. Waterfalls of life tremble as the feet of God's touch. This my holy ground. In the present I face what a man cannot, the echoes of his own heart. Fear calls me and forces me to conceal my love of this day, my love of my life. Echoes. Transforming my heart, transforming my soul, giving me a poetic and a karmatic destiny to be a leader that is more in love with the idea of love and the properties by which love is made of than the reality of the stain of broken promises. I stand because I remember the tears that have fallen from those who believed they were in love. I stand because of those who are forgotten and have yet to feel love. I stand because of the motherless and the fatherless who stand in the valley wondering why me. I stand for the voiceless who yet look upon the sun and in the clouds, hoping that they can use divination to be able to foretell the coming of love for them. I stand because there is a gap between lovers and life. There's a great rift between those who war for the power of love to be contained in the heart and those who are peddling love potions, who are weak, using love spells to intoxicate others to fall in love with the idea of lust upon their lips. I have fallen occasion to the desire of lust and felt its regret and its shame, wanting to take a shower to scrub it off of me, screaming to myself, how could you do such a thing? It was not love that I felt. It was lust. It was primal. And I know how it feels to fall in love with someone mentally, for them not to understand who you are just yet, for them to turn away from you and follow down the path of lust and temptation, wanting the bad guy, the bad boy, the rough rider, the dark one, the one who is the troublemaker and makes trouble for the world. The one who will break their hearts, the one who will strike them, the one who reminds them of the pain that is deep inside as they create even more pain. We have all met them. We have all met the different types of women. We have all met the different types of men. They say the good guys doesn't finish first, but that the good man always finishes last. But I tell you this, that is not the truth. The good man waits on the one that is worthy of his love, the one that will be crowned queen of his kingdom that he is building with his bare hands. The good man is the man who has morals and respect for the human body of a female, for the spirit in which that is contained inside her body, for the heart of who she is, for the love that she expels from her lips, from her eyes, from her smile, from her logic to her theories. A woman that is not afraid to be a dreamer, not afraid to take a pause during the day and be a daydreamer. One who rallies to the cause of the people, willing to lend herself to help less fortunate than herself. One who has a voice of leadership, just as strong as the leadership of the man. When Noah built the ark, the animals came 2 by 2. It wasn't 1 by 1, it was 2 by 2. A strong male and a strong female. They entered into their ark because they would be able to transform the earth and populate it again with strong species. They had the traits of strength. They had the aura of power. They had the bravery. And they were touched by the divine. My confession to you is that I haven't used my skills as a poet as strong as I should have. I didn't use my heart as strong as I should have. I come before you today saying that I bear scars upon my heart of times that I tried to open my soul to someone and got shut down because I wasn't a bad boy, because I was a man, because I was a rebel for the cause, because I chose family over everything else in my life, because I refused to play part in the tradition of getting drunk and going to clubs and going to parties and doing all these other things that they were doing at the time. I was focused on how to make NSJT greater and stronger and better. I was trying to mold the man out of myself because my father wasn't there. So I had to train myself to be a father figure, as well as being a great brother, as well as being a super uncle. I had to teach myself not to give up. I had to teach myself how to stand upright. I had to teach myself how to be a good man. Because I had no examples of good men around me. It was all about getting the cookie. And you know what I mean? This ain't grandma's kitchen. It was all about getting the cookie. I was told when I was young that at some point, it don't matter, everybody paid for the cookie. Some pay more, some pay less. But at the end of the day, you paying for the cookie. That was their perspective of women. How much money you got determines how much love you will receive from the women. I didn't believe in that notion, and I still don't. I had some relationships that last some time, and I had other relationships that didn't last 5 minutes. I will not compromise my integrity. I will not compromise my morals. I will not compromise my principles or my beliefs. I will not change who I am to be who you want me to be. I will not. I will not sell myself short to make you feel better about yourself. I will not lie to you to make you love me. Those things will never happen. I will never promise you something that I cannot give you. There are those who will make vain promises to you in the name of love, but they don't even know the spirit of love. They ain't never seen love, not even them themselves. They carry themselves as thugs, as the bad boys, as the cool and popular ones, but couldn't tell you a Senate bill or policy or anything of mature life, art, classical music, the cultural arts of opera and ballet, the instincts of Plato and Socrates, Aristotle. They couldn't tell you the position of Cornel West, or Michael Eric Dyson, or Louis Farrakhan. They couldn't tell you the beliefs of the President of the United States, Obama. They couldn't tell you what affects your check and what it means when you check off for independence and dependence and the reason why some companies get tax credits because of where you live. They couldn't tell you that. They can't speak theology to you because they know not the word of God. So they have no moral compass. They're lost and they're willing to take you down with them. They know not the root word of the language we speak. They know not of etymology and how it breaks down and what language it comes from. They know not of sociology, business ethics, psychology 101, early childhood psychology. They know not of these topics. They know not what they'll be doing in 5 to 10 years from now. But they know what 5 to 10 minutes from now, they'll be in your panties. That's right, this ain't Grandma's kitchen. I'm not Boo Boo the milkshaker. They're talking about things to get into your drawers. And you let them. Because you know not of the worth of who you are, the power of who you are. It is a woman that gives the strength to the man to be able to be a little bit braver, a little bit stronger, more courage. It's the woman that sets fire to a man to be a greater man. You can take a good man and make him greater, ascend to the heights of the sun. I've seen men as low as the ground, and they meet a woman that rises them high as cloud 9. Don't tell me you understand love, but you don't understand the concept of nature versus nurture. You don't understand the troubling culture of our generation. Babies having babies because they're chasing behind fools. And they got to raise this child on their own. Suddenly the market of good men are slimming up because there's not that many men that will sign on to take care of a woman and a kid. You look down your nose at the guy who is so sweet. He's so sweet, but he's not you. He's like a brother to me. What do you think your husband is going to be? The Bible says that you leave and cleave unto your mate. Man must leave his mother to cling to his wife. His wife must leave her daddy and her mama and cling to her husband and listen to her husband. That means altogether, he's your best friend. He is your brother. He is your sister. He is your lover. He is your guider. He is your protector. It sounds foolish once you start speaking about things that you don't even understand in the perception of reality. It sounds more like you schizophrenic than you actually are smart. Having good book grades don't mean that you're really smart. It just means that you know how to repeat like an animal, like a bird. That you complete tasks like a monkey over and over again doesn't mean that you got a higher brain function. I've seen people that bust out A's and B's and couldn't tell you nothing about real life. Looking dumb. Looking like the perfect mark. Get used and abused and thrown away. Oh, this is my confession. I have done a lot of things wrong in the eyes of God. Chasing behind the very same things that I talked about. Chasing behind happiness. Chasing behind luck. Chasing behind love. Chasing behind truth. Chasing behind wisdom. Trust me, I tried every shortcut they had. And realize that it's all temporary when you take the shortcut. It's brief. It flashed before your eyes. I remember what it was like to be young and think that you had a window into forever. Until you start getting older and it starts shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and it becomes narrower, and it's hard for you to go through the gate, and you got to realize that you lost that opportunity and have what it is that you wanted. That it was right there in front of your face, but you were too immature to take care of it. You were too immature to take advantage of it. You were too immature to cross the doorstep. So the door has closed upon you. Now you beg God for another chance. I'm a good poet because I write what I feel about the one who stands upon the shore looking out into the sea weeping. Because she hasn't found love yet. And I'm weeping because I haven't found love yet. But I can see her. And I don't know if she can see me. And I'm waiting for her to turn around so we can lock eyes and meet for the first time. So that I can touch her mind and she can touch my mind, so we can have a passionate embrace of mental love, so that we can have sex in the mind, so we can have that earthquake of the heart, the orgasm of the soul. Oh, don't get me wrong, we about to walk into my favorite month, February. I love me some Valentine. But I believe love is year round. I believe love is the love of your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousins, your uncles, your aunt, the stranger down the street, the neighbor that brings over the cookies. I believe love is in so many forms, and that you can't say that you ain't never been in love. If you love your mother, you've been in love. If you love your father, you've been in love. If you love your brother, your sister, you've been in love. You know love. The question is, can you obtain and tame the wildness of love? Can you keep it in one spot? Can you keep it next to you? Can you say the vows of love? Can you let love dictate to you what you must do? See, we was good at it when we was kids and our mothers and fathers tried to teach us the right way to live life. We were good students of love then. When we became adults, we ain't had nobody else to tell us what we supposed to do or what we should do. So we began doing whatever we wanted to do and allow love to escape our sights. I tell young people that high school was the best time of my life because that's the last time you have everybody heard it in one spot. You pick them off like apples off of a tree. Find beautiful women everywhere. Then you get into the real world and they're few far in between. They're struggling because they have relationships with no good men. And no matter how much you try to prove to them that there are good men, they won't believe you. Sometimes by the time you get to be an adult, they are so damaged that there is no turning back. Let me get back to my confessions. I've hurt some women in my life. And I call them women because they're women now. And it was because I was afraid of what was inside of me. I was going through a lot in my life. Nobody could handle my burden. And my pride would not allow me to ask for help. It would not allow me to ask for love. It would not allow me to ask for patience and faith in me. Heck, I didn't even want to be here. When I was a teenager, I was ready to go. I was ready to die. Because my life was already going in a dangerous death spiral. I was ready to go. I was calling out to God, why me every morning. I was too unstable to be in a relationship. I knew what was required of me in a relationship, but I was too unstable to actually go through that process. To love and be loved. But I have in my life memories of love, those who, even though I was too weak to hold on to love itself, they still offered their hearts and their souls to me, and they made me into a better poet. I dedicate everything I write to them because they taught me that love is silent sometimes. That love is strong. That love vibrates. That it echoes through the halls of heaven. The angels watch as we fall in love. that the angel loves the first kiss because that kiss is the sweetest kiss ever. Every kiss after that is competing with your first kiss. That soft palm feels as if you are being held by a choir of angels. That romance is important because it lights the way of destiny together with the one you love. Oh, I've learned something. Making love to the mind, making love to the body, and making love to the soul. That's 3 different things right there. I remember who I was, and now I know who I am now. And I can say that I have honored my principles. I've honored my morals. I kept the vow of 8 years. It started out at 7, but 8 years without sex. And the relationships that I had through those 8 years were amazing. I show remarkable discipline when it comes to love because I believe in true love. I believe in solid love. I believe in real love. I believe in giving all my heart and my soul to love. Look me up on Facebook, Jazrael Kavan, and you'll see a quote every single day that I put up. You'll see a poem every now and then that I write. You'll still see the passion that's within my heart. You'll see the fire that's within my soul. You'll see the hope that I have in myself and the world. You hear the confessions of a poet daily. I am who I am. The writings of Jazrael Kavan is important to me because they remind the world of who I am. They remind the world of what I am. They remind the world that I have stood and fought hard for the principles and the morals and the fiber of love. I stood and fought hard for social justice. I stood and fought hard for the outcast that was left out there in the middle of the street, out there on the corner, left outside on the playfield. I fought hard for them. I could have been popular. Heck, I was popular. And as I tell my niece 24/7, being popular is not fun. There's decisions that come up when you are popular that makes you like, oh Lord, why did I elbow through my mouth? Would I ever heard that joke? But as my confession as a poet is worth anything, is that you must love with all your heart. You must love the God that has created the beauty that I write of every single day. The beauty that I speak of every single day. I love you, Father. And I love the spirit of love. I should never betray it again as I move forward in my life.